Hi guys, and welcome to another video from Stupid as the Norm, the channel where we demonstrate how to become a millionaire in 10 years whilst working on only minimum wage. And in this video I want to explain to you how you can put in terms that a child would understand how to become wealthy. Well, the following is an extract I gave from a presentation to a sixth form college recently, where I was asked to put my ethos, my explanation of how to become wealthy in a half-an-hour presentation. And I thought it might be useful for those of you who have children or grandchildren who are interested in becoming wealthy and wanted to bundle the whole process up into a small package that they could understand. Becoming wealthy is largely about how you spend your money. The only difference between the wealthy and the non-wealthy are their spending habits. The wealthy buy stuff that increases in value, and the non-wealthy buy stuff that decreases in value. So if you have two people stood next to each other and one of them buys stuff that goes up in value each year and the other one buys stuff that goes down in value each year, well then the gap between the two in wealth terms is going to increase every year. And that's not because the wealthy are wicked or greedy, it's just maths. It's just because they're buying stuff that goes up and the non-wealthy buy stuff that goes down in value. Just to emphasize that it's spending habits that separate these two, I'm going to change the names not from the wealthy and the non-wealthy to investors and consumers. So every time an investor buys something, he becomes wealthier. And every time a consumer buys something, it makes somebody else wealthier. So what is it these two groups of people who are so very different spend their money on? Well, consumers spend money on, consuming. They'll buy clothes that they really can't afford, branded clothes that you could get cheaper somewhere else without the brand on. They buy cars, flashy cars, big German cars. They buy houses they can't afford. They go on holidays they can't afford. They have lifestyles they can't afford. And they do this because they're playing the status game. They're trying to gather status by looking wealthy as opposed to becoming wealthy. And the true cost of looking wealthy means you get poorer. Now, it's true that investors buy some of that stuff as well. They buy cars too, but they don't go for the big flashy ones because they care less about what people think of them. Instead, they buy a car that's good enough. They don't buy branded clothes. They go to Primark where they can't see the brands. They care less about going on big holidays. It's not about, to them at least, it's not about the size of the car on the drive. It's more about the pile of money in the bank. And because they have more of their money saved, they're spending less, they're consuming less. That allows them to buy things that really make them wealthy. Things that grow in value, appreciating assets, and these are stocks and shares and property. So unlike the new Xbox or the new iPhone or the new car, property and stocks and shares go up in value. The ones I mentioned prior to that go down in value and make you poorer. So simply put, if you want to be wealthy, you have to choose to buy things that grow in value, and these are stocks and shares and property. It boils down to a choice. It comes down purely to spending habits. So if all you want to be is wealthy, then you should make it your duty to buy as many appreciating assets as possible in as short a time as possible. It ultimately boils down to a choice, whether you're an investor or a consumer, whether you buy stuff that goes down in value or rises in value, whether you're wealthy or whether you're not. Because you're young, the habits you form shortly after you leave school will be with you for a long time. They will dictate how your life pans out from here. And rather like having to choose your friends wisely, you should choose your habits wisely. It comes down to choice, whether you want to be wealthy or whether you don't. Don't be stupid and don't be normal.